Welcome! In this video, I'll be sharing 6 poses you can do when you're pregnant, expecting a little one, and they'll help you with all your aches and pains you might be experiencing. Enjoy this, get on your mat, and if you have a bolster, something like this, perfect. If not, use 2 towels or 2 pillows just to prop yourself up in some of the more relaxing ones. I'm Jackie Gith and I'm all about helping you amplify your energy so you can be your body's best friend. That's without coffee or relying on the newest health fad. So if you are looking at up-leveling your energy so you feel more confident in your body and your mind, then make sure you subscribe below and check out more videos like this one. I'll start off with what my pregnancy yoga teacher taught me. Yoga helps us through any transformation. It's a tool that we can use to help us through change, to build our resilience in our mind and our bodies, and to also be okay with things shifting and not having to hold on so tightly to, I guess, our ideals of how we think things are supposed to, or just learning to adjust to life's ever-changing scenarios. Some of these poses will definitely help you and prepare you for the birth to come by training your mind to persist and to find the ease, whereas others will really be beneficial for the aches you may be feeling right now through the changes your body's going through the opening of the pelvis bones and structure around this area down below. Also strengthening areas like your spine and back that are helping hold the extra weight in the front of your body. The most important thing you can do through this phase of your life is to listen to your body and what it needs. The extra elasticity that you might be feeling in your body though, we have to be careful of not overstretching that, so always going to maybe 80%. Otherwise you can do a little bit of damage to your ligaments, so just being cautious of that. So get into something comfy, grab that pillow or towel, and let's get started. I've already had my little one, so I'm going to use my trusty baby and pop that one in here to replicate the kind of body shape you may be experiencing now. Side bends are going to be your best friend here because they're going to create space for the baby that's growing and also ease your muscles around your hips. So let's start either on your knees or you can sit cross-legged. Inhale, lift up through your spine, nice and tall. Drop the shoulders away from your ears. Open up your palms and take a deep breath here. Trying to expand through the stomach, inhaling nice and deep, which can feel restricting if you're progressing throughout pregnancy. We're just taking deep breaths as far as you can do it. Feeling the relaxation response that your body takes from it. Now inhale, rise that right arm up to the ceiling. Keep your left fingertips on the floor. Reach your right shoulder gently higher than the left, reaching the fingertips up to the ceiling. And then slowly crawling your left fingers over to the left as your right arm bends over towards the left side. Now you can push a little bit into that right sit bone, pushing your right hip down towards the floor. Really feel that expansion in your right side of your body. Keeping your chest open, turning the elbow back, pulling the shoulder back. And then exhale, release, placing your right fingertips gently on the floor. Left fingers reaching up towards the ceiling. Draw your shoulder up, your left shoulder comes up, 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 up. And walk your right fingertips across the floor, away from your body as your body bends and you're reaching your left hand across and over the top of your head, Keeping the chest open, try not to collapse forwards, keeping space for the baby in the front and the sides. Pushing your left hip down towards the floor, take a deep inhale and exhale. And relax back down. We'll come into cat-cow pose. So bring your hands underneath your shoulders, your knees underneath your hips, and start to bring your heart forward, keeping the core engaged a little, pulling your baby close to you. Inhale, and as you exhale, tuck your chin into your chest, rounding the back as much as you can here. Pull the baby up. Expand between your shoulder blades, push the floor away with your hands. Inhale again, bring your chest forward, chin up, big stretch through the throat as well. Exhale, round the back. Curl your pelvis under. Again, you might be a little restricted in this place, in this movement, in this position, and that's fine. Do what you can here and find what feels good. Exhale, rounding again. Inhale, come forwards to a neutral spine. We'll strengthen the back here a little. So press the hands firmly into the floor. Start to lift the left leg off the floor, and maybe your right fingers as well. Exhale, bring them both back to the ground. Press into the floor again, nice and strong. Keep the core engaged. Lift your right knee off the floor, and maybe your left hand as well. Exhale again, place it down. Once more on each side. Inhale, reach up high with the left knee, right arm. Exhale. Inhale, reach your right leg up, left arm. Oh yeah. Exhale. And then we'll come to wide-legged child's pose. So knees as wide or wider than the mat. Pushing your hips back. Staying upright like this, depending on how much room you have and how big your belly is, your baby. If you'd like to take this a little bit further, if you're loving the stretch in these hip areas, coming up with the hips, tuck your toes and walk your feet closer to your hands. Nice and wide legs still. So we'll start to sit the hips lower. You can use the bolster here as support. So bring it behind your legs or your pillows. So then you might want to sit your hips and your glutes onto the pile of pillows or bolster, keeping the heart nice and high and stretching your knees out wide, trying to lift the arches of the feet, grounding firmly into the floor with your feet. Keeping your hands on the floor as support here, but really enjoying that pelvis opening, bit of massage in those hip flexors. This is a beautiful one to prepare you for the birth, as this is the end stage of your labour where you're pushing your baby out. The last bit will require you to have this position, knees up above the hips, opening wide for the head to come through the end of it all. How exciting, you'll meet your baby then. And just keep breathing deep here. You might still be in the child's pose, and that's beautiful. Choose what suits you today. Then sitting back onto this pelvis, the glutes. So if you're in child's pose, find a seated position. Bring your feet out in front, your soles together, so it's an adjusted cobbler's pose. You can be on the pillows with your sit bones or coming down to the floor. Sit up as tall as you can through the spine. And this will be a beautiful relief on your back, your lower back and upper back, and also your side of the hips. Start to fold forward, as far as your baby allows, and then let your head fall down. You can use the bolster or a pillow just underneath your head if you want a bit of support for that. Maybe your arms and your head create a bit of a pillow, a ledge for you to rest your neck. Taking deep breaths here. Surrendering to the changes and feeling where you're feeling it in the body. Where are you feeling a bit tight? Where can you release and let go? Now the pelvis area and the chin are actually very closely related. There is a fascia that connects them in the front of the body. Fascia is simply put, it's like a glad wrap. There's a few different connective tissues like it around the body. But this means that when we tense in our jaw, we can also hold tension in our pelvis. So they correlate. So if you're tensing in the jaw and you're noticing that, make sure you're relaxing your jaw as well to help your pelvis relax too. And vice versa. So maybe part your lips gently, keeping your inhales through the nose and your exhales through the lips. Rise up nice and slow. Move your bolster or pillows out of the way. Shuffle into the middle and stand up for us. However you find your way up onto your feet. We're taking a goddess pose. So this is to strengthen your muscles and your mind. Sitting deep into the hips, feet are nice and wide, toes are pointing out, and your knees are going to track over the top of your ankles. Staying nice and strong through those muscles in your thighs. Hands can come to heart center first, or you can hold your baby for extra support, placing your hands underneath your belly. Keeping those breaths cycling in and out. Maybe you'd like to pulse up and down. And then find stillness for 10, 9, 8, 7. Keep breathing. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, rise. Bring the arms up nice and wide. This is an extra add-on for your back, your upper back. Cross your arms over, one end to the other, and place the back of the hands together. Eagle arms. Drawing the hands up, elbows up, and away from your face. Again, sitting deep into the hips, finding your edge, finding where it burns a little for you. You can do it so the arms are like so, or you can grab your shoulders. Taking a few pulses. Now this is going to determine your resilience. Notice how you're reacting to this. If you're wanting to tap out already, see if you can push through. Labor may have a bit of discomfort, but you are strong. So prepare your mind. Remind yourself you're strong. Prove it to yourself. You can persist. You are resilient. Through surrendering. Vulnerability takes strength and bravery. So hold it here for another 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. We're going to do one more round. Other way with your arms. Inhale, release the arms and bring the other arm underneath. Crossing the arms or holding your shoulders. Sit your hips nice and deep. Keep breathing. Engaging those leg muscles. Engaging the core. So if you're feeling a little bit too much in the lower back, just back out a little bit. Pulling your core and your baby in. Maybe you want to keep the hands around the tummy. That feels a little safer and more stable for you. Otherwise we're here with the arms. This is also a great arm posture for engaging the breast milk flow for after you've had your baby. Great for breastfeeding. And also when you're holding your baby and carrying it around, this is a great stretch for the back of your shoulders, giving them some release. Good one to remember. Now, our pulsing. Now we hold again for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, you can do it, 4, 3, 2, 2, 2, 1. Well done. Release, relax the arms. And do a small forward fold. Turn your toes in, bend into the knees, coming down as much as it feels good, and rising back up. Now coming to all fours again. There are different variations for this next one. We're taking pigeon pose. So if you have your bolster perfect, keep it close to your right side, hands underneath your shoulders, and shuffle your right leg forward, shuffling your left ankle towards your left hand, and then shuffling your back leg back. Now this may be perfect for you here, and you can tuck your pillow underneath that right hip. This is a great one to release in the hip and pelvis area as well. If you're finding it a little bit too hard, you can also do this standing at a table or a couch. So at a table, you would bring your leg up onto the table or chair and stretch it like so in front of you. If you want to have a seat, sit down on a low seat, bring your leg out in front, and then the right leg comes over the top. And you're simply sitting up nice and tall through that spine and pushing that right knee down towards the ground. Feeling that nice opening in the back of the hips here. This, of course, is also an option on the floor. Lots of options for this one. You choose your level and what you need today. Bringing the hands behind. Again, the same thing. Left knee's a little bent, right leg's across that knee. Pushing the chest up nice and tall, lengthening through the spine. So you're trying to avoid rounding the lower back here too much. You're trying to push the baby forward and your heart forward to get that nice opening on the side hip there. Now switching sides, whichever option you took. So if you're on the first option, you're sliding your right leg back, then coming from tabletop, sliding the left knee forward, and you can pop a pillow underneath your left side again as an option. Keeping your hands up as support. Taking deep breaths here. Again, the other option is to have your right leg flat on the floor, knee pointing up, right foot flat on the floor, knee pointing up, and left leg on top of that right thigh. Or you can sit on a chair or stand. Through this shift, there's a lot of movements happening around our pelvis, getting ready to let the baby through. So definitely pay lots of attention to this area. Releasing it. Now this area is a lot to do with our chakras and our energy zones as well that replicate safety and our sex drive. So if there's any thoughts that come up, any fears or anything, how can you make yourself feel more safe around this? What can you affirm to yourself? Saying things like, it is scary going into the unknown, definitely. Acknowledge that. Don't dig those feelings down below. Acknowledge how you feel. But then notice that The nurses are nice and they're here to help you. People are willing to help. Notice that you're supported by certain people around you, even by the smallest gestures they may do. Notice that you have your own back. You can love and nurture yourself through these poses, through maybe taking a bath as well and doing small things like drinking a tea that you enjoy. Finding moments of joy to help yourself settle and feel grounded and safe. Last, to finish off, we're going to find our way on our sit bones again, placing the soles of our feet together, knees nice and wide, and bringing your pillows nice and close to your glutes behind you, long ways along the mat. We're going to find our way onto the pillows, coming down to our elbows and resting back, maybe even grabbing another pillow for your head to rest if that's low enough. If you feel okay, lay back all the way, open up the arms to feel this beautiful stretch in your chest. Now we do want the support under your back of pillows because we don't want to be laying straight on the back if you're in the later stages of pregnancy. So definitely just see how it feels. If it's too much, you can come lay on your side using the pillow between your knees. I'll show you, demonstrate. And maybe even a pillow under your head. Or use your arm. Really listen to your body here. Listen to your baby. And find some stillness here. Find your breath. Listening to the sound of your breath traveling in and out through your nostrils, past your lips. Relaxing in areas that you may be feeling some tension, relaxing in your shoulders. Again, the jaw area, between your eyebrows, even your eyes, your toes, your legs. And you can stay here longer or gradually make your way up into a seated, hugging baby nice and close, sitting on a pillow if you choose, for that extra bit of lift and support. Feel your baby, maybe it's woken up and moving around, he or she. Maybe they're also sleeping, taking some rest. And namaste. Thank you so much for joining me and for taking this time out for you. And I hope you the best for your journey ahead. Remember, if you do want some guidance, book a one-on-one with me and we can build a practice for you that you can do daily or weekly. So jump in the description below and book in a session with me. I'm happy to help. And of course, if you are already feeling pretty good in your body physically, but you're mentally struggling a little bit with the changes happening, or you're just feeling a little bit fatigued energy-wise, also jump below and register for the workshops I do on lifting up your energy through simple behavior changes, no drugs or anything like that, or coffee. Obviously we need to avoid that when we're pregnant, so there's different ways we can manage our energy and keep our energy up and preparing for our baby to come along. And as always, be your body's best friend. I'll see you in the next video.